What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to In the Frame Podcast, episode number 36 with your boy Mar. First things first, let's get it.
Fuck me though, right? Cool.
I was concentrating on the
now you see why it's easy to watch this. Yeah. Ooh, it's good stuff.
With us, we have Mar from the Vid Project.
Yes, sir.
Mar, let's talk, bro.
Let's talk, bro. I'm ready.
It's been a long time coming.
I'm honored, to be honest with you. Being on here is like, it's an honor.
Man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Like, you're definitely one of my mentors, I'd say, in the business side, like, and just creations. Like, you're just all around content creator. He shoots for like the biggest, like I would say the biggest like influencers in the game. And I'm not talking about Instagram fucking thoughts, man. I'm talking about like real content creator, like Instagram, I guess influencers. I mean,
appreciate you. Yeah. I'm assuming it's J-Star, right?
Yeah, and many others too. I mean, you shoot a lot of different kind of like content, like professional. It's just like so good. And the fact that it comes out.
Tell us about your backstory, man.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go from the beginning.
Okay. Well, which backstory? Like how I became this, or how did
you pick up a camera?
Yeah. How'd you get into the content creation game?
I'll speed it up because like I think for every creator, there's always like a crazy backstory, right? But long story short, lose a car, got a Dewey, so pursued an art career. In that art career, I was like, I'm gonna do graphic design. During graphic design, learn things like photo, learn things like drawing, learn things like painting, graphics. And then in that, you also have to learn video, telling stories. Picked up a camera, actually bought my camera and said, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to do this video shit. Used iMovie.
What year is this and what camera?
Shoot, I don't even remember a year. Like 2011.
Okay.
2012.
Okay.
And the first camera was a Sony. It was known as a Sony NEXT. Yeah. So it was like one of the first mirrorless removable.
Before A6000.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember
that. Sounds foreign to me.
And it was cool. It was like, to me, having a camera in general was just like, all right, cool. I'm going to have this camera. I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to be able to document because even I was always a fan of just having some memories because I remember my mom putting like video footage of myself as a kid. So I was like, all right, cool. This is important for some odd reason. So it was just a habit growing up. I always took photos. I always documented. I always did something where I'm like, I'm going to remember this memory somehow.
Yeah.
So in college, I learned iMovie. And then the first video that I filmed was my friend Robin. And we started a company at the time. And he was doing like a breakdance pop kind of thing. And I was like, okay, this is cool. And that's just around when Instagram started.
Okay. Instagram videos.
Yeah. 15 seconds.
Videos. Yes, I remember that.
Oh, that was classic shit right there.
Squeezing so much content in 15 seconds.
Trying to battle with Vine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
this was before Vine, I believe.
And the process was a bitch, bro. Like you have it in the card. It's not as easy as that is like it is now. Like you had to record it on your camera, take the memory card, put it in your computer, which is kind of still the same process, right? But then what do you do after that when you first figured out, oh, there's this social media where you can make cool ass videos? Like there was no learning. They didn't give you an instruction manual or anything like that. So we had to figure that out. And then once I did, because of the graphics background and stuff like that, I eventually sped up to making like event flyers for like hookah companies. And then I was too early. I was way too early because I started making things way too creative. And I think at that time, people already saw too many commercials where it was like, oh, I'm just going to pass by it, So they weren't liking it. They weren't interacting with it. They're just like, oh, this must be an advertisement.
Yeah.
So what city are you in when you're doing all this?
Good question.
Anaheim,
Orange County.
So you're from Southern California then?
OC, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn, that's interesting that you're saying that because I'm just so programmed of seeing high quality commercial like content, but it's not a commercial.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're saying you're like creating stuff like that back then, and it to the common eye is like, oh, this is a commercial, whatever, skip.
Yeah.
That's how I
assume. Like I just assumed.
That's a good assumption though. If I were to, the way I'm thinking about it, like right now, it's like I think it's fair to say that because it just looks like an ad, and everyone hates ads. I still hate ads. Yeah. Like YouTube ads are the worst. So it's like, come on, man. And they're really produced as well. But let's dive a little bit more into you created the vid project, and you want to explain a little bit more about what the vid project is.
So I'll go a little
Yeah, let's go for it.
a little backwards to it. So there's these things called like Upwork, and you have Fiverr, and you have other companies that are similar to it.
That's how I got my first creative job through Upwork, actually.
And it's no distancing on them. Like those things are awesome.
Shit, this is the first, but for our logo, we hired somebody from Fiverr.
Right. And
Yeah.
And I was going back and forth.
Some kid from India, I believe.
Damn, like that.
He was from India.
give that full credit, bro.
No,
He deserves it.
there was a lot of back and forth. Like nah, bro. Like fix this. But
And you had to wait like 24 hours because there's like opposite parts of the
time
world.
change. Yeah.
But how much did you pay?
Nothing, bro.
I don't remember, dude.
It was like,
Exactly.
no,
It's about
it was
$100.
like 45, bro.
Dude, that
45? Nah, dude.
Dude.
It was more. It was more than 45.
Oh.
The fuck?
but he's gonna one day that Indian kid's gonna see a shirt and it's gonna be like Potter, bro.
I already have one, bro. He's gonna comment the price and shit.
He's gonna be like, yo,
Give
I
me more
made
money.
that.
Yeah.
Give me commission.
I want my flowers.
Give me my 5%.
So what about Fiverr and
Okay, so you have these services, and you could go onto these services, you can go onto these platforms, and you could basically type in whatever service you need. Do you need a logo? Do you need a web designer? And there's other companies that like, you need a cleaner.
yeah.
You can find a cleaner, a trainer, all this. Well, doing what I'm doing as far as creating content for people that have a small business, I realized that there's nothing like that specifically only video creators.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, there's more than just long form video. There's 30-second videos, there's YouTube videos, there's ad videos, there's Facebook videos. So to me, I just kind of saw something that were like, okay, vid project to me is like you make a video project. Now, if you go a little bit further behind that, there's more than that goes into videos. There's lighting, there's makeup artists, there's producers, all these other things. So eventually the goal is to facilitate. If you have a video project, you could go here and find the correct people that can help you with this video project.
Okay.
But of course, there's so many iterations that are going to happen in creating
Gotcha.
something like this. But that's kind of what it was, a mix of seeing companies like that exist, mixed with seeing companies like Amazon exist, and me thinking, okay, how can I make it easy for creators like myself? Because I had a hard time getting found by clients,
Right.
that will pay me well.
Right.
So that was a huge thing for me. Is like, I hated when I first started, I was getting paid either a burrito,
Shit.
fucking, here's
A little
pat in the
six pack.
yeah, here's
Pat the
that.
back. Dude, I love that. I love. You just brought a good point. You were trying to find the solution, right?
Exactly.
So you're trying to find that niche, which everybody wants to find a solution, and you just narrowed it down to
Correct.
where, like, how can I make this worth my time?
Correct.
And how? So you wanted to become a local Fiverr or like a video
Yeah, that's a good
producer? Or
question.
how do you go about that?
It wasn't. I just wanted to make sure it could work.
Okay.
Like, that's kind of it. Like, deep down in my head, I'm like, yeah, I want to be the successful tech person. But before that, I was like, no, I just got to make it easier for that kid that's in the bus that has this creative ability to be discovered. That was like my initial thing. Like, I even told myself, like, the 20-year-old me needs to be able to go to a place, put his information in, and eventually he knows that he's going to be interviewed. Yeah, appreciated. He's going to be interviewed by a person and say, can you do these things? Can you film 4 videos for me and give them to me in less than a month?
Right.
Because I need them for my business. So, like, I call, everybody in this term, you're going to hear this term vetting, right? So companies will vet you. They'll basically ask you questions and find out, are you capable of doing something? So whatever business you're in, like, you're going to go through a vetting process. And I was like, well, maybe I could be that person that goes, I'm going to find an Alberto,
Right.
ask Alberto, hey, Alberto, can you shoot this many videos? Yes. Okay. But can you do them in this amount of time? And can the audio be this way? And are you okay with this price? And like, can you handle 5 clients?
Mhm.
Like these kind of questions, like then I realize, okay, this person's capable of potentially working with 6 clients,
Mhm.
you know, and they're fast enough that they won't be overwhelmed. There's like, that's kind of what I wanted to do.
And it's kind of
Gotcha.
it's kind of like what happened to us.
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah.
so it actually did end up working out. So back when you were saying like you were getting paid scraps and pennies and burritos and tacos, like how did you get to how were you able to break that barrier to get to the level of, all right, I feel comfortable with this price that they're gonna give me or you're accepting?
Well, I think when I first started, I just wanted to pay a bill.
Yeah.
Like that was like high key a huge thing. Like I went from working as a loss prevention agent and I was making okay money at what I thought was okay money. So I was making like $900 every 2 weeks. And to me at being like 22, 23, whatever the case is,
Okay money.
yeah, okay money, right? And I was
Especially for a
like,
22-year-old kid that just wants to party and drink.
exactly, you know. And I was like, okay, I work full time 80 hours a month, and I'm making what I think is good money. And then when you lose everything, and I was like, yo, you got bills to pay, you got rent due, you know, mom's helping you out, and you live in a small studio, like you just need to get shit paid.
Mhm.
So deep down, I learned all this creative shit. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go learn how to apply it. The first thing I did was like go see if someone can actually like, would you buy this as a service?
Mhm.
So it was like reaching out to. I did a whole bunch of free shit, like
Yeah.
a whole bunch of free shit. Like my homie dancing was a free shit, and then going to hookah bars and going like, hey, can I do this? Can I make a flyer for you? I'll do it for $50.
Yeah.
I'll do it for like $40. It took me like 6 hours, 7 hours. but I'm
AKA
like,
the grunt work.
the grunt work, bro. Like hands down.
So you definitely paid your dues.
I paid. I feel like I did.
And I'll tell you this much: me going to Cal State Fullerton. Oh shit! I think that's the first time I ever said where I
Yeah.
went to school.
Dang.
Orange County.
They're gonna look you up and
I
shit.
know.
Yeah.
The hookah bars.
Yeah.
Those were a big thing.
Is it a big thing in Orange
It's a
County?
big thing in
Oh,
Orange County.
huge thing,
It's
bro.
the first time I ever went there. I say that's my first time I ever got high because me
Yep.
and my roommate Jeremy and my brother went. We paid like $30 each, and then we got a hookah. And then I left, and I was like, "Dude, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on? I feel high."
It's
Like,
tobacco.
yeah. And then they offered drinks and stuff,
Yep.
but we weren't of age, so we just had a hookah. And that's a good sector you got into. And so how did you know that? Okay, so we're really transparent in this pod. So obviously, when you came up with this idea, right? You have to take a percentage of whatever work you're giving to the workee, right?
Yes. So at this current time, I haven't even gotten to that. So
Okay.
since I want to build the name, my plan, and feel free if there's any business person watching this, like feel free to hit me up. But there hasn't been a plan on how to get some sort of fee. Like if you get work for Fiverr or Thumbtack or any of these other companies, you get like, they take 10% of the commission or whatever the transaction fee
Right.
is, right? But because I want to just like full transparency,
Build your brand.
I'm Hispanic. I don't know this tech shit world. I don't know this like entrepreneurial world. I don't know certain terminology and certain things when you're building things like this. So I'm just building it like as a logical, like if I could make a door, like if people had to walk into this door and then this is what's going to happen after that, that's what I'm doing. Now, if this door that they're going to, there has to be some sort of fee to it. I haven't
Right.
gotten to that. I can't tell a business investor, which is what a lot of business investors will ask you, how you going to make money from it. I haven't gotten that far. But what I'm thinking is telling creators eventually, hey, once they get to like 1,000 people or 100 people, whatever the case is, it's an X amount per each transaction.
Right.
Each transaction is not going into my pocket. Each transaction goes to marketing. Each transaction is, hey,
Reinvesting in your company.
It goes straight to the business.
He's from San Diego. Let's put like $100 on his ad. Okay, let me talk to a person from Minnesota. That's another $100, whatever. But it just goes right back into the business. I mean, full transparency against, like, long term, if someone wants to buy this and they see it probably bigger than what it is, awesome. Allow me to still be this chief person to like still speak for the creators, because I was the creator. Like, I know how it is to be fucking.
I'll tell you this
broke.
much: as an entrepreneur, I can already see your success, bro. Because I see a lot of YouTube and a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and what they do is they reinvest in their company. Like, fuck making money. Like, they just want to put that money that they can potentially make back into the company. So what you just said, reinvested in commercials of a shooter you have already under you.
Correct.
Like, reinvested, and potentially it can make you more money in the future. Right. And the percentile can be way more bigger than what you're thinking of.
You're looking
right
at the
now.
bigger picture.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you're a kid that doesn't really understand the corporate like dialogue and all that good stuff. I mean, this is new to me right now, because you definitely don't come off like that, at least when we speak. So where did you learn this? I mean, I feel like I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit. Like, is there anything that you're reading, or is there anything that you're listening to, or are you going to school, some kind of business school? Like, how are you?
People you admire.
Yeah. How is it that you're getting this knowledge and information?
A ton of reading for sure, and a ton of YouTube search, just like any individual like that has the can Google. Like, you would hear one story, so you'll hear something from like Jeff Bezos, right? And you hear him say something like innovative one-click button something, and you just take that as a person of curiosity. You got to just sit and go one-click something, and it may not hit you right away, but you're like, okay, what the fuck does one-click something mean?
Right.
And then go Google that. Like, just go Google that one thing, because that one thing will lead you to the next curiosity.
So you just go into a wormhole.
I love
Big
that.
time.
So you're just literally doing the most basic shit. Google it.
Yep, just Google it.
You're putting a puzzle together, basically.
Yeah.
But like,
Just
not many
consider-
people take the time and effort to Google shit, like the most basic thing ever. Like,
not only that, Roberto, but not a lot of people take the time to invest into finding the other piece where, like, where is this going to take me?
Yeah.
So I love that what you said about that. Can you expand more? Like, how did that click in your head? Like, okay, like, I got this piece, let me go find this other piece.
I think there comes a time, not for everybody. I'm not going to be real. I'm going to be real about this. Like, it doesn't happen to everybody for some odd reason. I think you have to cultivate that, like, whatever your circumstances. And if you could compare a person that parents took care of them, and parents helped them with college, and parents bought them their first car, that person may have a less chance to have cultivated a mind of curiosity versus a kid that parents couldn't take care of their college, parents that didn't give them the car, parents that didn't do this, because that kid goes, well, I want a car. How am I going to get a car? He has to cultivate this brain pattern, this like, okay, I need to do this. I need to go here to do this next thing. And then from that thing, go here to do this next thing. So for me, being Hispanic, first generation Hispanic, I was very lucky that, one, I did have a stepfather who was white, Caucasian, who taught me logic and rationality.
Right.
So that was one benefit in my upbringing. But then I also had a Hispanic mom that was like, didn't teach me English, didn't teach me how to read a book. Then I had to go like kind of learn and do a lot of other things on my own.
Right.
So as I'm growing up, my brain pattern's already like that. Like, if you told somebody to go build a refrigerator, like, I'm pretty sure I'm a person that could be confident enough I'll figure out how to build a refrigerator. But other people might be like, I don't know where to start.
Right.
I don't know who to ask. And I'm just like, well,
first thing I'm doing is going on YouTube, how to build a refrigerator.
yeah, exactly. Just that it's that. I mean, luckily now,
Literally, that's how I learned how to fucking change the oil of my Jeep, bro. YouTube University, it's a fucking thing.
It's a real
I thought
thing,
this
bro.
motherfucker, I was like, yo, I taught him how to drive stick, and then I taught him how to do the oil change. I was like, Pete, why is the fucking or the oil filter or some bullshit?
It's all squirting and
Yeah,
shit.
it actually that did happen. Actually. Like, I literally flooded my mom's driveway, dude. Like, it was gross. But,
Yeah, dude.
And then I did a little YouTube search. I'm like, oh, that's what I messed up on. And so never made that mistake again. But yeah, no, like, back to your saying, like, just, I like that you're saying, because a lot of people are just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna give up,
Straight
not
up.
figure it out. Where there's other go-getters. I don't know if it's can you teach that to somebody?
No,
Is
man.
it either you're born with it or you're not?
No, it's do you want to, like, I tell everybody, like you're curious, right? You're already curious for some odd reason. Like, push that curiosity, like, let that shit take you, and like look at things and ask yourself questions like, how did they do that thing? Like, it can be the dumb, how did you build this phone? Where did you, so back to, there was a question you asked earlier, like, who are some of the influences? Elon Musk is a huge influence to me, not because of who he is, even prior to who he is, but he always talks about first principles. First principles is like the ultimate truths, right? Like, if you needed to build this thing, what do we know about it that is truth? Okay, it's made out of plastic. It's got certain size. It's a certain size. There's certain things built inside of it. Mm-hmm. Well, that's like the ultimate truth. Now, can you go further in understanding where did this plastic come from? Can you find it at a different area that makes it cheaper?
Right.
Can you find it at a different manufacturer that makes it faster? So then that's forcing that curiosity of asking the right question. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I found this in Taiwan that they make it for 0.02 cents, but you have to buy like $300,000 worth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. But that's a constant cultivation. You just have to be curious. You know what I mean? That's why you'll hear this term like, don't get distracted all the time. Well, that's a real shit. That's some real shit.
Especially in our generation where you have multiple social medias and you're just getting pulled from all strings. And it's like, bro. Even when in an edit session, like I have my phone charging and it's like, I should really just put on do not disturb. Facts. And I'm editing, boom, I'm looking at the phone, boom, I'm looking at the phone. And it's just distraction. It's like, check the phone, you're like in it for 2 minutes and all of a sudden it's 30 minutes. Yep. And you're just scrolling mindlessly. Yep. And it's 30 minutes of work that you could have been doing on your edit.
Yep.
So
you guys say it all the time. You guys are like, come on, pick up the, you have the power in your hands. You can just, you guys always you're always telling your people like, dude, everything's right here, dude. Yeah. Everything's right there.
Mm-hmm. And I love what you're saying about cultivating what you really want, because it is up to the individual to like cultivate what you do. Like, let's say you're raised from I bought your car, I bought your school, and then those people are usually the ones that are like, okay, well, what do I do now? Like, how do I cultivate this? What would be your message to those people? Like, because we might have some creative game members who will have the, privilege of that. What's the tip that you give them to cultivate that and unlock that secret that you are talking about?
So one, you're gonna die.
Damn.
I say that shit all the time.
Yeah. You're gonna die.
Nothing's gonna matter.
And you gotta think huge. Mm-hmm. You gotta think so big it scares the shit out of you. You have to think so big that it's you may think it's impossible. That's probably the biggest one. And like, so you everybody, we look at certain influencers and certain individuals and they're like, oh, they're driving such a nice car, they got this, they got that, or they're living this way. But that's just one aspect of their world. Like, they probably have a business, they probably have a family to take care of, they have a wife, they have kids. So you have to think that big. You have to like, how big's my house? How big, like, what's my wardrobe like? What kind of clothes do I want to wear every day? What do I want to eat every day? Like, how many people do I want in my studio? Do I want a studio? Do I want a big desk? Do I want a small desk? How many phones do I want to carry with me? What's my bills look like? Like there, I gave you guys a book recently called FU Money, but in that book, this guy talks about where he goes like, picture your ideal year. Your best ideal year. Like, if you could like dream your ideal year, what can it be? And you could say some shit like, get picked up in a limo every day, eat 3-course meals every day, watch these types of movies, date these types of people, go out to these places, travel these areas, like write all that stuff down, calculate it, and you will find out it's actually less than what you would imagine. It may be like $300,000.
You just have to reverse engineer it.
Big time.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah.
And that's kind of like where I'm at right now, where like I everyone in the gang knows like I want to fucking make 100,000. That's like the road to 100,000 for me. And if
you're
just,
on there, bro.
And if you just
Both
break it,
y'all on
and
there.
if you just break it down, it's really not that hard. Like you break it down by months. I mean, I can't think of the math right now, but I have it written down somewhere.
No, you can't, dude. Think about it. 4 clients paid $3,000 each. That's 12. That's what, 1,200 a month. 12,000 a month.
$9,000. 3 times 3.
That's 12,000 a month.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and this is the first time I've ever mentioned this, but that's how much I make a month. Like, I get 3 to 4 clients a month that pay me $3,000 minimum. The minimum that you could work with me is 1,800, and that's like if I don't want to like I like.
That's like I come through.
Fuck it.
Like whatever.
Yeah.
I believe in them,
Yeah.
you know. But like my ultimate goal, or I want every creator that you too, like you know, I want creators to make 6 figures, because in this world, and it's sad to say, but like the economy is going up. You hear this term all the time, inflation. So that basically means that the more money that comes in, the cost of living goes up, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and then the amount of what people make is a lot lower. So we're inflated. But so when you start going, okay, I have a service, and there's certain people out there that are willing to pay for this, like. You just got to find those people, and that takes work. But once you get that first initial step, for sure. Let's say you make $1,500 a month, right? Just divide that by, you know, or actually multiply that by whatever number to get to $10,000, right? That then you'll go, oh, okay, that might only take me 7 people or less, 6 people. So then you got to go, I got to convince 6 individuals or 6 companies or 6 brands to pay me $1,500. And then you got to go to ask yourself, do I have the energy? Do I have the work habit to work for these 6 individuals? You know, eventually the thing that the next level of in doing that is you can actually raise your prices. So there's a technique that I had mentioned. It's like after a certain amount of length in working with an individual, you could say, hey, we've worked for 6 months. In the next 2 months, I have to raise my prices to this because there's other individuals that need me. Correct. And then you could raise from 1,500, which is your bottom, to now $2,000.
Okay.
And then now you've limited. Now you don't have to do 6 people. Now you could only do 5.
Take notes, kids. Take fucking notes, baby.
As we always say in this Potter, your content has to back up your prices, right? So this is a really important thing. So for the creative out there who, you know, wants to make the buck that we're all striving for, do you agree or disagree that their content has to back up their pricing? How do you go about that? How do you go about filtering your the people
content
you look up for?
Well, I think. Let me think about this. So in the very beginning, you have to like obviously make a ton of content, and eventually after you make a ton of content, the market speaks for itself. The market will ask you, hey, I want some of your content. And then the market, so you'll hear this a lot, is an MVP, right? Which is basically like, I forgot what the actual acronym means.
Most valuable player?
Not most valuable player, but in the tech world, it's like most valuable product.
Okay.
Where it's like the basic tier of your product or that everybody wants to buy. But so in the beginning, you're creating content, and then you're going to sell it to somebody, and then you're going to go $200, right? You're going to say, just throw out a number, $50, whatever. You creator out there, you're making all this cool content. Someone goes to you and says, hey, I want your content. And you're going to go, okay, I'm going to make this content for you for $50. And then to you, you're like fucking excited. You got it. You closed it. Another person comes to you and is like, hey, $50. 30 people come to you and they're like, okay, this is $50. Clearly, you as a creator know that they're taking on 30 people is a lot. So either up your price or say a lot of no's to your clients. So if you up your price, now try $200. You're only saying that to the market. Whatever you're testing the market, you're going to test, hey, if what I'm making to people, do they want it for $200? So now you're going from 30 and then maybe 15 people say yes. They're like, oh shit, I'm still selling $200 to at least 15 people. Or maybe you're selling 200 for at least still 30 people. Maybe it's 60 people now. But now you've realized you've created a demand. There's a demand for your work. Now, can you continue upping your price and still receive a demand? Is there people that want your work?
It's got to be a balance.
There's got to be a balance, correct. So I think that's the initial way creators eventually figure it out. Like you put out enough work, do people want it? And then as people want it, change your prices, up your prices, lower your prices.
That's really great because I always say this in plain English. I always say like, if 10 people say no to your price, let's say price, you're probably charging too high. But if 10 people say yes, you're probably charging way too low. But if you're 5 say yes, 5 say no, you're probably in a good sweet spot. So
that's a very easy way to put it right there.
Shouts to Craig Adams for that.
It's funny they say that because I remember when I was looking at my videographer for my wedding, I was like, Berto, what's your pricing? And I was like, Berto, you gotta step your shit up. And then he told me, I was like, yo, Berto, like I'm getting booked, like I'm fucking busy, bro. I can't do this and that. I'm like, yo, raise your fucking prices. And I was like, I bet. So I started rising my price because the demand was there.
Yeah.
Like, people saw that I was shooting like heat. Correct. I was like, yo, like how do I like? I don't want to like pick and choose what I want to do. Like, yo, if you can afford my prices, that's worth my time and that's worth my creativity because it's an investment. And let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? So like it was like tick for tack, you know, like whatever the market is, let's go for that.
Yeah.
And I always praise that to the burn-in shooters out there who are satisfied because they're part-time photographers and like I'm getting paid $50 for a shoot. Like I don't give a fuck. I'm getting paid. Like no, think about the long, like
bigger picture.
Long game. There's in the art world, there's this term. I forgot what the term is, but let's say I bought this painting. Let's say I made a painting, right? And I sold it to Alberto for $500. Like Alberto's kind of, he's not in the world of things. He's not huge, right? So that painting is still kind of not expensive. But if the president bought it, your tier of value has now gone up because the president owns your stuff. Yeah. So the more you had mentioned earlier, like you want people that respect your work, right? But you're heading to a direction based off the work that I've seen. You're heading to a direction and people just say it by word. They're like, dude, this reminds me of what's the word? They're like, oh, this is like print. This is like magazine worthy, right? Yeah. So the fact that those are like signs that eventually there's going to be probably a company that pays you, like a Lamborghini company might approach you. That right there, as soon as you get that gig or whatever, your price immediately skyrockets. You can no longer, because that's like your art piece is now worth a lot more. You know what I mean? But cultivate that to understand, like not all artists realize that. They're just like, oh, cool, I got a good gig. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They just see the short term game, like, oh, I'm getting paid doing what I love. I'm like, cool and all, but what's your end result? Like, if you're cool with just having a regular job, which there's nothing wrong with having a fucking regular 9 to 5 and do art shit in the side and get a little quick lick and shit. There's nothing wrong with that. But for people like us, we're trying to make a full-time living out of it.
Yep. Knowing your fucking worth.
Yeah, and you're fucking buzzing in the streets, bro. Like people are talking.
Bro, I got hated on because I was like, I'm the best fucking photographer in you. Bro, I'm just doing my shit, man. Like that's just, it's like.
But you need that fucking ego, man.
Let me tell you this. I heard this from Mike Tyson. I was watching an interview with fucking Ryan Garcia because I'm a fanboy of Ryan Garcia, and then Ryan Garcia was like, "Yo, like I want to take Davis, I want to fuck him up, like blah blah blah, 2 rounds, this and that." And then Mike Tyson was like, "Yo, success brings confidence. Confidence cultivates success." So I'm like, "That's me, bro."
Yeah, bars of the week.
You know what I mean? Like I see motherfuckers commenting and like saying shit, like throwing shade at me because I said that one thing. I'm like, dude, like I didn't mean it like that, man. I'm just saying that.
No, but better yet, I don't even see you. I don't even know who you are.
I have horse blinders, bro. Like I'm just saying that because I know what I'm doing and I believe in my fucking like success because of what people are telling me and it's just like you said, believing in your product. So that's what I want the creative member to know, that like believe in your fucking product. Don't give a fuck whoever says, like only give like praise to your clientele. Your clientele saying like, "Yo, good shit, bro. I'm
That's
gonna hire
all
for more
that
shit."
matters because they're the one paying you. So
Yeah.
Not the other fucking photographer, not the other videographer,
not the photographer that's doing $50 gigs. Like fuck that. Like
not your competition, bro. Like worry about your clientele,
Yeah.
and I feel like
Take
that
care of
was
them.
right too.
yeah. I feel like your mindset is definitely molding into the right direction, man.
No, like I said, like beginning of the Potter, I don't know if you heard, but like I was more concerned about like what my competition, what my fellows, what my colleagues were thinking about me in the part-time industry or whatever they were doing. That's what I was more concerned rather than my clientele. And then like I said in the previous episode, I just put horse blinders and I'm like, yo, fuck all this. Like I'm just gonna concentrate on myself and focus on my craft. And that's what at the end of the day matters. And that's what I'm trying to bring home is that your price, like you just said, is like the common person doesn't know who the fuck the Picasso is, and of like the CEO, like yo, like I would have paid $5,000 for that. Like fuck $500, that's fucking cheap. Like that's the clientele you want to find.
Right. Right.
And I think both of you, from what I've witnessed from both of you, it's like there's always improvements. And I think that's for the creators out there. It's like, cool, you got to a certain level. You've learned how to get the right shadow on the right face or the right lighting behind you or the ND filter that lights you up better, right? But both of you guys are constantly improving. What light makes me better? How can I diffuse it? What flash? What's my f-stop? What's my this? Like that sense of curiosity when you're constantly improving on your craft makes you more valuable. In fact, like psychologically, when you're on set and you're like twinking your thing, your client's looking at you and how you're like, hold on, I just need to make my lighting a little bit better here. We're going to do this. Like they take notice of that. Yeah. That to them is a sense of customer service. That to them is a sense of like, oh, he's caring so much to waste 2, 3, 4 extra minutes or whatever to make sure that I look good. You know what I mean?
Damn, I didn't never thought about it like that. When I'm on set, I feel like, fuck, I'm wasting time. I need to get my settings perfect. Like, but dude, I never put it in the perspective of the clientele. Like, damn, they actually care about what they fucking do.
I love what you brought that up because
you just opened my eyes right now, dude.
I've been in the situations where like I felt rushed. Yeah, if I'm honest, and I'm like, oh
every
my god,
set
like,
I feel like everyone's rushed.
My client thinks that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I straight up say it. I'm like, nah, like I don't like what the fuck that look. Like, let's do it again. And they love my honesty. Like, okay, let's fucking do it.
Yep.
And then I show them and the results after I told them that. They're like, what the fuck? Like, that's what you did? Like, damn. Like, so I see what you're saying with, like, the client is like judging you in a way because, but if you're judged and like, oh fuck, like what the fuck, like why are we redoing that? And then like you show them the actual thing why you redid it. Like they're all like, oh fuck, that's why he did it. So he really cares about me, and he's. Like I say, like clients can tell like when you're like, oh man, like I don't know if that really was a good shot, but you're just rushing me. Like you know what I mean? Like, they can sense that.
Yeah, they're super fast. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
And then go straight to the phone. Like, all right, cool. No, like bro. Like clients know, And it's like when you walk into a store or go to a restaurant, you don't like it having to wait 2 extra minutes for your cold drink or for them to get you extra ice or whatever. It's that for creators. It's like, do you go ask your client, is everything okay? Do you need good? Are you all right? Okay, good. Like that type of little shit, like goes a long
Those little
way.
Details, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm always big like, do you need some water? Like, you good?
Yeah.
Need some air? Like, we could take a little 5-minute break if you need to.
Yep.
But
there was something you did with, I think you said in one of your podcasts that I really was like totally where a person was in the wrong headspace and their other partner left and then you were able to say, hey, you know what, I understand that you're going through some shit. I could see it affects you. You saying that and recognizing that, they're like that, that's customer service,
right,
bro. That's huge.
Yeah, I never put it like that, but no, you're actually right. I just more like, hey, if you want this to look, you're paying me pretty good, like we got to make this look A+, like right now you're giving me B energy. I need that A energy, So
no, that's good. That's good to recognize what Alberto said. Like at the end of the day, it's your customer service that sets you apart from every other videographer, photographer. And like I remember the story you told him was like, that's good for Alberto. Like he recognized that, and I feel like your average videographer wouldn't say shit because they'd be too scared.
Or they just want to get out of there.
They just want to get out there.
They want to do their 3 hours, 4 hours, and dip.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let's pivot towards retainer clients. It's been a long time since we talked about retainer clients, but you are the king of retainer clients, in my opinion. And everybody in the perfect world will like to have retainer clients, have that security of a paycheck, creating for someone multiple months instead of one-offs. So how is it that you're able to, first of all, think like, hey, maybe I could create content for them on a monthly basis instead of just a one-off? Like, how did that come about?
Yeah, how do you cultivate that shit?
So when I first just came up with the idea of like a membership or like a membership style was because you recognize what's happening in the world. Like I was like, okay, you got HelloFresh, you got Amazon, you got all these services that consider us as consumers or clients for them, that we pay each month to make our lives easier.
Right.
Food, Amazon, products, whatever the case is. So I was like, in my head, as just being a curious person, I was like, yo, why can't I do that with creative shit? Like, why can't I have some type of service to make it easy for the person that I work for? Just they have constant shit. That's kind of how I imagined it. So then I was like, well, can I get to like $800 a month? Can I get like to $1,000 a month? But this comes back to our previous conversation of like market speaks for itself. But the initial idea was like, okay, I have a service. I'm going to just attempt to sell this service for a long vision. And I would find clients and I would look at clients and be like, wait a minute, they can't just need one thing.
Right.
And I can't scare them with a price that's going to make it like,
yeah.
Like they ain't gonna, if I go, hey, okay, I'll make one video for you for $5,000 a month. Your chances are pretty slim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know your workflow.
Yeah.
Like if it took you 3 months to make the damn thing, maybe $5,000 would be
right.
Legit. But
right.
But like if you've created a system or a flow that, oh, okay, I just need opening shot, inter shot, whoever, creator gang, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just a shot list.
Yeah.
If your shot list, you've mentally created the shot list that it's a formula that's the same thing every time, that when you get home, you could just plug it in. It'll probably take you 2 hours to make. Like you've created a system, and then maybe your system, like, can you do it for like 5 people and then charge them at a certain price? That each month it's going to benefit them, but it's also going to save you time. That's kind of how I started thinking about it.
And
like,
you're huge into systems. Like I remember like just even shadowing the first time we went shooting together, just looking at your workflow, I was like, whoa, like just the pre-production part was like amazing to me because I've never experienced something of that intricate. And I feel like it's been helping you out, and just the systems that you have just makes your life so much easier. Where it's, I mean, for me, like I'm still transitioning to that where I need to get better with systems and get familiarized. But the content creator, it's like, I just want to shoot something and just have fun.
I'm gonna go in with the free flow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go freestyle it. Right?
Yes.
And that's cool. Like I love that. I love that creators could go in there and be like, I'm so good and I'm just gonna freestyle it. Totally dope. But when you start going, okay, this is just going to be on some weird shit. Okay, you got a big life, right? And in your life, you have parents and you have, you're getting older and you have teeth and you have skin and you have all this shit. I'm saying this because your teeth rot and you need dentist. And you got mom that gets old and her hands hurt and she's got arthritis and she hasn't saved up. And then you got father and you got brother and you got sister and you got college debt and you got house. So when you have all this compiling stuff as a creator, in the early stages as a young creator, you're like excited. You're like, I'm creating for the but eventually as you get older, you realize how precious time is. So then systems allow you to save time. Systems allow you to go, okay, before the shoot, I need to talk to a person. And in that person, I need to make sure I have establishing shot. I need outro shot. I need this shot. And then I need to make sure my audio is good. So I need to check my audio. So then you have all these like mental things that you've laid out. So that way, when you get there, instead of spending 8 hours, you spend 3 hours. You know what I mean? Now you've saved yourself time. And at first, when you're first doing it, you're like, you may think, oh man, my client's spending $3,000 for 3 hours. or whatever the case is. And you may feel some sort of like, oh, they're not getting their money's worth. No,
Right.
in fact, they are, because you were able to accomplish what they wanted in 3 hours. They get to go home and sip pina coladas or a martini
Or continue working on their business.
or continue working on their business.
So you're saving them time and money.
And money, exactly. And then they're going to look at you of like, wow, this person got this shit done faster, quicker,
More
and
efficient.
more efficient. And that's the value. Like, you saved them time. And like you've mentioned before, it's like your experience. That's huge. When you look at your work, you're like, dang, that beautiful shot. All my 8 years of experience took me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that 5 minutes is now worth 10 grand. You know what I mean?
And now, like, to piggyback of what you just said is that, you know, your time is worth every single penny, right? So, like, for me, like, I've been that I've gone through my shit. I've gone through the gauntlet where like
Grunt
The
work.
grunt work.
where like you just said prior to this podcast, like yeah, I'm just picking up projects. Like, I should raise up my prices, but I'm gonna raise them next month. So let's just keep putting that grunt work. And I'm at the point now where like I'm like, oh shit, like I have a wedding. I'm seeing my fiance put in all that work. Like, let me step back. I see I'm gaining, like, I'm gonna be straight up. Like, I've gained like 10 pounds from when I first started this podcast, and I dropped down like 20, 30 pounds. And then I gained another 10 pounds. And I was like, whoa, hold on, Pete. Like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, you're not helping your fiance. You're gaining 10 fucking pounds. Like, yo, get back in the fucking, go to another gym and focus on your health and focus on your priorities. This is one thing that I want to get to the Creative King. Everybody says, I'm guilty of it. I don't have time for that.
Yep.
I have the Potter. I have this. I have that. I don't have time for it. It's not about time. It's about prioritizing what's important for your fucking life. And I want everybody at the Creative King member to know this. It's not about having time. It's about prioritizing what's fucking important in your fucking life, whether it be your family, your work, you're single. We're all in different situations, right? So it's not about time. It's about prioritizing what the fuck is important for you. So for me now is me helping my fiance with the wedding, me getting in shape and focusing on my health so I can continue this for the long run, not for the short term. Because I've told Alberto, I'm like, dude, like, I'm having a struggle. Like, I'm getting all this, like, I'm raising my prices, this and that. I'm doing everything, but I'm getting so much like shit going on. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, yo, am I prioritizing the correct things? And I feel like prioritizing is a good segue.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see you back in the gym now, man.
Yeah,
I see
fuck,
you
I'm killing
kicking
it, bro.
ass in boxing right
I'm
now.
hurting right now. I'm fucking
Dude,
sore, bro.
I feel like I get hit by a train too. So don't worry.
I see you too, bro.
Well, I mean, I have the same issue, bro. Like,
Yeah.
so
I seen you too,
Yeah,
bro.
you just recently started going
Jeez,
crazy in the gym.
I saw this fucking Snapchat like before you start working out, and then I was like, okay, and then like a couple months later, I was like, oh, fuck, I saw your shoulder shredded. I was like, oh, okay.
So how do you dabble into like mental and physical health, like balance with avoiding burnout?
right. So this is gonna sound.
Let it sound cliche, man.
Okay.
Who cares?
So you get to a point where, just in general, in today's generation, everything's busy.
Yeah.
Everything's busy. You're like, just social media takes a certain time of you. Your family takes a certain time of you. Your creative life takes a certain time of you. What I've realized that helps me is just having a running checklist, having a constant, what are the things that I have to do in your situation? You said priorities, right?
And are these written down? I don't want to interrupt, but like written down or on your Apple Notes or?
I have this app called Todoist.
Okay.
Referral link down below.
Yeah.
But no, I'm serious. Like, so because of the world in the industry that I've just dumped in, you're going to hear things like workflow and time management and work management. And that's important. This is when I say term or word, so that way you, the creator gang, could go research that, Google that, because what you come to find out is you're going to have a client that goes, okay, awesome, I want to work with you. And then maybe you get 3 clients that same month, and they're all maybe shot within that same week. But then one client wants it a week sooner than the other one. So you yourself have to learn how to go, on Monday, I'm going to shoot this day. On this day, I need to edit this day. On this day, I need to spend at least 4 hours to get to this amount of thing to get this done. So back to the priorities. It's like when I the moment I've used my checklist, I put everything down. Grocery shopping, go buy this thing tonight at 7 p.m. Potter, go podcast at 6:30 p.m. Arrive there by 5:30. Like that's the level of how I've gotten my personal life in.
It's like detailed as fuck.
It's one, and on one aspect it is, but in reality it's in your running head. It's in your head. But the when you have it a thing, it just saves that weird empty energy.
Right.
You know, because you'll find out you're like, oh, I need to go buy my tuxedo for this thing.
I need to get fitted, actually.
Right? But if you have a running list, it's just gonna make it a lot easier. And that list, at least this app allows me to, it pings me, it notifies me, and it's so intuitive that like the way you could just enter things, it's cool. So I use a task management thing called like Todoist. I use several of them. I use Asana, I use Todoist, but that just gives me that like weird empty shoulder. You'll feel in the creative world, you'll feel this weird anxiety kicking.
Weighted shoulders.
That's why I got myself a massage gun, and every night, I swear to God,
for
for like 30
At the
minutes,
boxing?
like boom, boom, and I feel cool.
Dude, same.
And it's probably why, because I've been telling myself I need to write things down. I'm more like a writer, instead of using the notes app.
If that works too.
Yeah,
but
I'll tell you my secret, dude. So you know what the fuck is it? The notes on Apple.
Yeah.
I have one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, basically every day. And I told Shelby today, like, cause she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, oh, "I'm just putting," cause I have my checklist of every day. I have a notes for every day. And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I gotta download the reels. I gotta do this. I gotta add the description." And my checklist is the emoji of the guy going like this. So like I have the same list over and over, but it's like what do you have 2 here and what do you have 3 here? Because that's what I just started. So every time I put the raising hand emoji, that means I checked it off. So that's what I do. That's my system. So for today was like potting, do this and that, and then do this and that by every day. So like that's what I use for my checklist.
So you have your own system of, I mean, not all systems. You got to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you.
And then every time I put that little emoji of the raising hand,
done.
like it's done.
Do you feel relieved?
I feel like relieved.
Oh, so you do. Okay, so
and every time I tell Alberto this, I was like, it's like this shit is like college.
Correct.
Like assignment is due this week.
You're your own teacher.
Yeah.
You're your own boss.
So like, that's my like work ethic, and that's how I get the weight off of my shoulders.
Correct.
And that's why like that's what works for me.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's weird, but like Todoist apps is dope because, I mean, I did a video about this shit. Is like you could be right here, right? I'm gonna be right here, and I could go record behind the scenes on Tuesday, and it automatically puts it to Tuesday. Like
What the fuck is this app you called?
Todoist.
Todoist. I used to do that for my old job.
Todoist?
Todoist.
Yeah, so like
No free ads, but fuck it.
Yeah,
Wait, so you got to pay for it as a subscription?
Yeah.
I mean $39 a year.
Oh, that's not nothing.
It's not
dude.
bad. It's not bad.
I pay for this fucking FICO score thing. It's like $39 a month.
Yeah,
But that's nothing, dude.
Yeah.
Todoist.
Yeah. I used to use Todoist and Monday.com.
Monday's dope.
Yeah.
It wasn't like when you're grocery shopping, you got these like running ideas, like go buy girlfriend food.
Shouts to Kristen. She does all that shit for me. I literally focus on my fucking
See,
work, dude.
That's good. That's the next. That's creator gang is. They may not have a girlfriend, or they may not
have a partner,
an admin.
Yeah,
you know, because that's admin, right?
Yeah,
there.
technically, yeah.
That's admin. Like
true.
it saves you something. Our house, like there's days where it's fucking messy, and then there's like weeks that it's completely clean. But the messy is because me and her so in our shit that we don't have an administration person. Take a break now, go eat food.
So Mar, who is this she you keep talking about?
My babe, bro. She's my baby. No, on the real though, it's my girlfriend. We live together. She's the partner of Vid Project. She helps me create a lot of content. She does a lot of Reels content. She started her background. I hope one day she's on here, but I mean, she comes.
We'll definitely get to get her in the Potter for sure.
That'd be awesome. She deserves it. She's currently creating a lot of Reels content for like big people, my clients, her own clients, people from Netherlands. She's like consulting people. So it's like, it's really cool to see her evolve. but that's her.
Does she have a creative background like you do?
I think when she didn't go to school for it,
I didn't go to school for it either. She's in university though.
she dabbled in certain creative parts in college. So she did like a video class. She did a photo class.
Oh, so she does have experience in it.
Some experience.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So as a creative, how did you meet your girlfriend?
Through my friend's friend, and that friend is she had a sister, and that's Aisha.
Okay, I think what he's trying to say, it's cool
Mutual
that
friends.
you guys met, but like, how did you know she was a creative?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because the last guest we had, he was like, it's hard to meet people. Like, it's date someone that's not a creative because they're not going to get your world. They're not going to get your workflow. They're not going to get your mindset.
oh yeah, I saw that. I wanted to talk on that so bad.
That was a Teddy episode.
I swear
which
that
really
if
good.
there was a hand like raising my hand, I would have.
Yeah.
I have something to say.
Shouts to Teddy. That was a good episode.
Yeah. That was really good.
That was so good. But I mean, just in general, like if you're a creative, no one's gonna get you. No one's gonna understand you. Even if you have a partner that's a creative, they still may not get you. You have to come to understand you as a human. You're in your own little world. You got your own little thoughts, and they're not gonna read your mind. So, me and her still have difficulties. Her workflow is different from my workflow. There is a great understanding. There is an element of like she gets, why it takes so long to do a thing. Mm-hmm. So the fact that there's length in taking that long, she realizes, oh, we can't go out, or we can't do these things, or he's emotionally affected because he has to take care of the client of some sort of way.
Right.
So she understands that aspect. But there are aspects where it's like, she may not know, you know what I mean? But it is for some, you have perspectives all the time. There's people that say you don't want to work with someone that is a creative because your life becomes kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of like, it's like there's no balance to your life. You leave work and you're still talking about creative stuff, and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got people that are like, that have one person's a creative and not a creative. So when you finally get together, the chemistry just feels differently.
Okay.
Know what I mean?
So how did she find her niche into the TikTok and Reel content creation? Because I feel like it's fairly new since 2020. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, maybe 2019, but it's still a very new platform and people are taking it. So you're saying clients are really taking advantage of the Reel and TikTok content?
Yeah.
It's booming right now.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you think, I mean, you see little girls and kids and grown adults creating content for fun, and they're really good freaking content. Correct. And so like, you think they could even potentially dabble into the creative
Correct.
space and maybe get some pocket change here and there.
Big time. Only because you have to think about it. Everybody's brain in today's day and age is like 2 seconds. It's like, you give me 2 seconds, cool. Now there's companies out there that would die to have 2 seconds of that another person's attention. So then you got these creators that somehow figured out, hey, I could get these people's attention in 2 seconds. Their value is gone up. Like if this company, Sierra Nevada, hired a 16-year-old kid that could get people to laugh at the fact that they made a reel in 15 seconds, but got my attention, and their sales go up by 0.03%, whatever 0.03% is in an annual revenue, and they only spent.
That's mills.
That's mills.
And by the way, the 16-year-old is not drinking that Sierra Nevada.
Yeah, that's disclaimer. Hire only creators at 20.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like how the average person's attention span is really short and
super short.
That milliseconds is valuable for the company, and the least amount of money they can spend on that advertising is gold for them.
Correct.
Essentially.
Yes. So if they're hiring a person that's young and they're good at what they're doing and they're catching people's attention in a very short amount of time, that essentially that creator should take advantage of that. And if Reels is the platform to do that right now, then do it. You know what I mean? That's how. So she saw that. She's like, oh, I can make these things, and they don't have to spend 7 minutes telling an entire story when they could do 15 seconds and give you the same amount of breakdown. And what's cool is there's a retaining factor within that. So you're watching the 15 seconds, and then by the time you're done, you're like, I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again.
What? Yeah.
You know,
or there's pieces of information, like for example, text that you can read the whole thing because it was such a fast second that you have to like rewatch the whole entire thing to catch more of that paragraph or piece of text.
Correct.
So kids out there, I mean, we're at fault. P and I, we already said sorry. We were shitting on Reels for the longest, but there is I kind of want to call it. It sounds dumb as hell to say that, but it's kind of like a little mini gold rush when it comes to with the IGTV or not IGTV. IGTV fucking tanked. Reels. When it comes to Reels and TikTok content creation.
I'm gonna raise my hand because I want to quickly stop. Can I give your Creator Gang an assignment?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So Creator Gang, here's what I want you to do. I want you to direct message 100 people, 100 companies near you, locally that you want to work for, whatever, and ask them, can you make seven reels for them for $500? Just direct message them. And if you're already making reels, you're probably ahead of the curve.
Right.
But if you're not, it's okay. Just hit them up. 100 people. Hit up 100 companies near you. Ice cream shops, skater shops, coffee shops, restaurants, whatever. Ask them, hey, can I make you 7 reels for $500? I promise you're gonna walk away probably with $1,000 in less than a month.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've heard that before. It's how the Portrait podcast that I listen to.
Fuck that. No free ads, bro.
I've already mentioned this, so it's not. I've already like told Albert, I'm like, dude, like these people are taking like shitty photos. Like they have guests on, and like they're like, I love your work, this and that. I'm like, dude, like their work like isn't up to par to what I think is worth what they're charging for. But they say like, I hit up 100 people. Out of those 100 people, 4 or 5, I'll get somebody who will invest $3,000. I'm like, wait, that's like $15,000, bro.
That's a numbers game, baby.
Think about it. The average American makes like $45,000.
Yep.
That's already like a quarter of what they're making. Like, think about it. So I'm like, just shooting your shot. Like we said in the past episodes, we've done reels about them. Shoot your shot, and a law firm would be like, okay, like we're really desperate. Like you're charging $3,000 for blah blah blah. Like let's do it. And that just goes to show you, like, you just got to shoot your shot. So I love what you just said, like the assignment, man. We're gonna make some.
Yeah, I think we should start creating more assignments.
Masterclass, bro. Like, yo, cut this shit. Patreon, bro.
The assignment for today. All right.
No,
guys.
but like, if you're out there creating fucking reels and TikTok videos, and you're really good at it, or at least you think you're good at it, like, dude, hit up 100 companies. There's gonna be at least one company out of the 100 that's gonna be like, all right, bet, do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's $500 right there in your pocket.
And you know, I'm not a videographer, but when I do reels, they fucking bang.
Mm-hmm.
And Alberto's someone's like, yo, how the fuck are you getting these numbers when your shits are boring as fuck? I'm like, dude, like I just choose the music, I color grade, and I tell the story. Like Alberto says, like he's not a transition person.
Yeah.
Like, yo, don't hire me for that shit. Like I just tell the story. And I'm like, bro, I have the ability to tell the story within 15 seconds. And that shit booms. So like, imagine of a company, if you can do that for a company, they'll pay you money for like advertising. Like if you can make it simple and this and that and like do a story, like, yo, you can make some serious money in reels.
And I mean, the algorithm works for itself. Like it's going to speak to the right person, right? Like here's the tricky part. Like you're probably going to confront these several things that's probably going to happen. I don't want to pay $500. Why is that worth $500? You as the Creator Gang goes, I'm going to give you an idea. I'm going to have to edit the idea. I'm going to have to come up and take my time to create this idea for you, to film it, my energy driving to you. And like, you don't have to describe all that to them, but just so your brain feels more confident in saying
your price
is to understand you have to drive there. You have to use your car. Your car is a limited amount of time, or a bike, or whatever the fuck you have to do to get there. So that's your energy, and your energy costs time, you know? And then you have to actually edit it. Like what makes Aisha so valuable is she's resourceful in finding out what song works.
She's super good at that. She's helped me out so many times.
Dude, dope, right?
She knows like all the latest trends.
Dude, dude, I'm telling you, you kick it with her. You're like, what are you doing? She's not just like scrolling
mindlessly.
She's
doing
like
taking notes
all the time. She's like, okay, this song's hitting. This woman's doing this. She's saying these things. I mean, if you had let's say a technological company, right? A technological company that sells laptops. If you're gonna use a reel to say we make fast, high speed laptops with these amount of things, blah blah blah, like, and it's like a huge paragraph, that's not gonna get someone's attention.
it's not gonna slap.
It's not gonna slap. But if you're like saying 3 words, our laptops edit fast, like if that creator was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm just gonna put that in. Like that just makes sense. The person that's watching it that needs that laptop that edits fast, they're probably gonna watch it like 3 or 4 times.
They interpret it differently.
They interpret it way differently. Totally.
And if I was creating that, I would put our laptops edit 4K.
AK, bro.
AK now with the A1. Yeah, seriously.
Exactly. But that's exactly right.
Right.
That's exactly right. You've understand that what they call it is like you adopted the brand voice, right?
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Damn, man.
Yeah.
So many fucking nuggets. All right, man. Let's get fucking nerdy with it. Before we get to the nerdy talk, what kind of, for the real production, what are we using?
Phone.
You hear that, kids?
A7 is 3.
You don't need a $4,000 camera or a $150 camera, whatever.
Nope.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you have in your pocket fucking works, guys.
Yep.
So can you elaborate on this, please? To like tell these creative gang out there that's like always making a bitch ass excuse about, if I had a Sony A7 or if I had a 16 to 35 or I had a lighting or audio, come on, man.
So you need a tripod. If you don't have a tripod, using your hands, being still is fine. Like just literally being still.
And I hate interrupting. Tripods cost like $10 on Amazon.
Yep.
Seriously,
Target.
if not less.
Target.
Yeah, there you go.
If you're that fast and you need it by today, go to Target. You can get one for like $13.
Damn.
Yeah. Garage sales if you really want to wait till Saturday, whatever the case is. Feel me?
Yeah. So
you get a tripod. You buy like a phone holder, probably for like $9 on Amazon.
Shit,
Tripod.
cheaper. I've seen it for like $1 or $2.
Yep. And then I think what makes the idea is what really the idea and strategy is what's the bread and butter is like. If you're telling your client, I'm going to show up there on Saturday, we're going to take 3 hours to film. You're going to wear 2 outfits. We're going to shoot your coffee in this mug, and then we're going to shoot your clothing here, and then we're going to shoot an outside shot. Like when you're confident enough to give them that plan, and they know already that they're going to spend 2 hours to make however many pieces, they're looking at you like the expert. They're looking at you like, okay. Yeah. Now, if you're not even there yet, like if you can't afford a tripod and you don't have a phone, like I don't know, like you gotta take
every kid has an iPhone, at least an iPhone 7
or something. But
and this still works.
Get your homies. Tell your homie come with you. Like there's always a way, bro. That's what I've learned. That there's always a way. You have to go. You can't. Yeah. There's always a way.
Yeah.
There has to be. There's always a way.
Yeah. If there's a will, there's a way. So you got to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
All right, let's get fucking nerdy with this shit, bro. What are you rocking with?
So I have equipment wise.
Yes.
Yeah. So full everything.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, let's go start with the camera body.
Okay, so I have 3 bodies.
Okay.
I have 2 A7S2s, 1 A7S3.
That's the legendary A7S3.
Wait for it. And then let's see. I have my phone. I have a G6.
What's your phone?
12.
Okay.
The 12. Yeah. Then I have a GX7, which is like for behind the scenes. It's a little Canon.
Little point and shoot.
I have a 360 camera. I forgot what version it is, but it's the older version. It's the little black one that kind of looks like the phone, but it's really sick. I have a drone. And
what's the drone?
Mavic Pro 2.
Is it the Hasselblad one?
Yes.
What?
The Hasselblad?
It has like that crazy.
Wait, hold up.
No, I'm not.
He doesn't fuck with drones. He doesn't fuck with drones.
But you're a photographer.
Nah, I don't.
He doesn't fuck with drones at all.
Drone photography.
No. Hasselblad is not.
Oh wait, is that the one that like the ball?
No.
No. It's like
You're gonna
the best
Inside me,
camera.
'cause I
Okay,
Oh,
I'll
shit.
tell you. Okay, so there's an era. You know when you drive and you see all these giant signs,
Yeah.
these poster billboards,
Yeah.
and they're like sometimes they're like beautiful models and let's say BB or Vogue. Well, a lot of them use medium format. And Hasselblad is one of the first companies that have the camera that shoots digitally medium format. So you could have potentially blow that.
How many megapixels?
I don't know
The
all of them.
2 is like a 20 something megapixels, I believe. The Mavic 2. Pro.
But that for the drone. You're talking about
Yes,
the
I'm
drone.
talking about the drone specifically.
No, the camera's way bigger.
Oh yeah, of course.
So there that's actually known for a lot of the term. What is it that it's called that you've been doing that people say
Editorial.
So a lot of editorial shoots are done off of Hasselblad.
Oh, is that a bigger drone though? Is that the one that looks like a spider?
It's not a
It's
drone.
kind of-
It's an
it's-
actual camera.
No, the Hasselblad is
camera.
an actual brand.
It's a brand. It's a company.
Okay.
So Hasselblad is known for camera medium. You'll hear the term medium format.
Okay.
So a lot of
20 megapixels for the drone, the
Oh.
2 Pro.
But
Well, that's why I
look
heard
at that
it.
company.
No, yeah, no. I mean, I've done my
Nah,
research.
that's a piece. Damn.
So you'll
That's
love
crazy.
it. You'll follow research it. You're gonna want one.
Nah,
because-
Especially
I've
for
seen
your
drones.
style of shooting as well.
Exactly especially for your style. Of
I've seen
shooting.
drones the size of this fucking table. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but
what's
we're not
going on?
specifically talking about the drone. We're talking about Hasselblad.
Yeah,
Like the company.
Hasselblad alone.
I'll have to do my research on
yeah,
that.
you're gonna be like, oh, I want a Hasselblad. I mean,
Yeah.
you're spending like $6,000, if not more, for a camera.
Some light.
Yeah, but the medium, you could blow up a poster,
Yeah,
and the
nah,
crisp,
Like the
is
size of
crisp,
this, and it'll be fucking crystal
Bigger.
clear. Yeah.
like street, like people could see it for miles.
Damn, I gotta look it up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you got the Mavic 2 Pro. And
So, and then there's like all the other small equipment. So my girlfriend has
she creates her reels
Canon.
with an iPhone.
Yeah, she creates her reels from my iPhone.
Is she shooting 4K or 1080?
both?
Okay.
And then we have several lights. We have an aperture light. We have a Godox light. We have these lights called SD, which are like $70. Like you could get 2 lights for $70 on Amazon and get like a cheap $400 camera, like a T-Rebel eye,
Yeah.
and focus only on your glass lens, which is probably like $600, if not less. I know, Creator Gang, if you're like barely beginning, like
You're like stunning right now with all the gear.
it can be overwhelming, but like learn how to make $20 doing lawn, like mow a lawn or like go massage somebody. I don't know. Like
Go massage.
you can, there's a way to make money
Hustle,
nowadays.
hustle.
Yeah, hustle.
Especially in the internet world, man. I feel like there's no excuse, man. There's so much money that you can make on the internet. Like you don't have to literally get your hands dirty and fucked up to make $1.
Facts.
And like my family makes fun of me because I'm like, oh, it actually takes manual labor. Fuck that, I ain't doing it. Like, and they laugh at me. And I was like, bro,
But you
I'd
do
rather
manual labor.
bro, a camera.
But it's creative. It's
Yeah,
creative.
like,
I get it.
Nah. I'm talking about like you fucking out there shoveling
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
or hitting nails. Like I ain't doing all that bullshit. Like fuck that. There's other ways to make $1. Like I'd rather work smarter than fucking
No,
harder.
for real. One of my, I'll talk about this later, but hopefully, like my clients, like one of my clients, she makes 6 figures a month.
Some light.
Like think about that. Like 6 figures a month is so much money, bro. But to equipment, I got one of these.
A6.
Yes, I got 2 Sennheisers. I forgot which ones they were, but they're 2 Sennheisers.
Yeah, those are fire.
I have a speaker. It might be the same one. Has it? Yeah. But
Sennheiser, yeah.
AX
It's probably
AX something AXV. I think it is.
Okay, so you clearly we're talking about thousands of dollars worth of equipment that you probably got over the time, not in
Correct.
just one shopping cart
Correct.
on Amazon.
Correct.
It's really easy to say. I mean, I feel like I've seen memes at this point about when people say gear doesn't matter, but it really does matter to an extent.
Correct.
What do you think about that?
I think that's true. I think gear doesn't matter early on, but eventually, keep
it a stack, bro.
Eventually there's a certain quality that makes your workflow easier. So, for example, if you got a certain T-Rebel camera and you want to shoot outside lighting, your T-Rebel doesn't allow you to shoot raw. So there's cameras that will cost you a lot more that allows you to shoot raw. so that maybe your lighting in post-production is a lot easier to manage, where you can essentially affect your lighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can manipulate it.
Yeah. So it's shit like that. It's just like, it's all about your workflow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. Like, I was an advocate for like equipment doesn't really matter. Like, who gives a fuck about equipment? I'm shooting with the A6000. I'm making good money. Mm-hmm. But then once I got the A7S,
shooting with the A6000.
No, before
beforehand.
When I
was like, right now.
He was like, "What the?" He's like, "I'll take it back. Yours does not matter."
no. So like, I was shooting with the A7 III. Once I was like, I talked about it. I'm like, yo, like, fuck this A6000, man. Like,
it was holding you back to a point.
Yeah, I was like, it was already like the menu settings was like costing me more to fix.
Yep.
Like, I went to a
Shutter
camera
speed,
shop,
bro.
Yeah, I went to a camera shop and I was like, yo, like my menu button's fucking up. Like, it's like, yo, it's gonna cost you like $600. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
might as well get a new camera.
I'm gonna get a new camera. So I got the A7S III.
No, you got the A7 III
or A7 III.
Still sick.
And then like the shadows like were night and day, bro.
It's that full frame look.
Yeah, like I know I hate being a fucking contradicting motherfucker, but like,
you hypocrite.
Yeah, like the A7S III. Once I put it
A7
into like
III.
A7 III. Fuck, I don't
He's
know.
He's got my camera on his mind, bro.
Fucking seeing your shit, dude. The flip
I think it's the first time you saw the A7S III.
that is the first time I've seen it in person. So then, like, I was like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm tripping balls or what? Like, my editing, like, when I went in a Lightroom and I was like, what the fuck? Like, the shadows are picking up way more on the A7 III.
So it did make your workflow smoother.
It made it smoother. It just made it, like, less editing.
Yep.
And I was like, holy shit, it's already what I want. Like, I just had to get the settings correctly and boom, there it was. Like, it made my workflow way easier. So I were like, when you get to a certain high level of like clientele where like, oh, like they're really like picky on the editing thing, then it does make a difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your work's so sick, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
The street's been talking.
Yeah, bro.
Best photographer.
No, because you'll get used to it. Like, you start seeing work.
That's what I said. I was like, man, am I getting motherfuckers used to my good shit? But then, like, you go ahead and see people, like, I'm not saying they're copying me. I'm saying they're trying to, like, go for what I'm going for. And, like, you see, like, the mistakes. I
talk your shit, King. Fuck, man.
I nitpick
trend for the trendsetters.
Dude.
I ain't saying that. But I'm saying, like, I know I told Alberta, like, we talked about a couple of those episodes. Like, I'm like, man, I've been telling you about Hindu. Like, I've been telling you about this. Like, dude, I'm just focusing, like, perfecting my craft. I'm perfecting my look. I'm trying to project. I'm not trying to, like Alberto said before in prior episodes, like, I'm not trying to, like, look at these travel films. I'm focusing on, like, what I want to do.
You're emerged.
Yeah, like,
that's the best way. That's the best way to grow.
So I'm like thinking, like, what do I want to do? I don't want to look at other people. Like, I rarely follow other photographers, and if I'm honest, like, I follow, like, photographers who follow me from in the frame.
Got it.
That's who I follow. But I don't follow, like, inspirational shit, like, whatever, because I don't want to, like, go for that look, because I want to stay as original as possible. So, well, I was telling Alberto, I was like, dude, like, that's crazy. Like, what I'm creating is, like, other people are trying to go for it. And I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to say, like, you guys are going to copy me, but I'm saying, like, people are striving for, like, I'm becoming that person who, like, yo, I want to be him. And it's humbling, because I'm like, holy shit, like,
that's a compliment, bro.
I know that, like, Alberto says, like, I'm like, yo, like, this and that, but like I said, I've gotten shit for being like, yo, you ain't the fucking best photographer in San Diego. And like I said,
but these are I wouldn't even call them colleagues. These are nobodies that are saying that.
Yeah,
bro. What matters is your clients.
I get what you're saying, bro, because these are people who are like,
don't matter.
Like, yo, creative gang, like, we're all gonna have that hypocrite who has nothing going on for their fucking life. They watch your shit, they see your shit, but they just want to be fucking hypocrites because that's what they can do. Like,
what is it? If you ain't getting hated on, you ain't doing something.
I've always said that, man. If you're not getting any hate, you're doing something wrong, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I've
always said that.
I've told Alberto, I'm like, damn, like, man, like, these motherfuckers trying to humble me or what? Like, I'm not saying, like, my shit, like, isn't up to par. Like, I'm not saying, like, what the fuck? Like, damn, like, I overhelped myself. I'm just, like, reassuring myself, like, yo, fuck it, like, that's noise. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, let them talk, bro. Like, this and that. But
you should look at the positives, man. That your clients are loving your shit. And we had a nice little phone call earlier today. So this reaffirms that your shit is fucking
dude. And it's just like, I'm not trying to, like, come out. I don't know how to.
You're being humble about it.
I'm being humble. I'm trying to be as humble as possible.
You know you got talent. but you're trying to be as humble as you can.
And I am, because the
But
creative
it's also your backstory, right? Like you have this backstory. You're like, fuck, I worked so hard to get to this level. Let me talk my shit, but at the same time, all right, I'm gonna pull back for a
Martin, you're one of the most humblest motherfuckers out there,
bro.
because you are legit financially killing it, bro. Like a lot of artists would like to be in your shoes, and the fact that you made this shit happen out of nowhere, it's like insane.
And the thing I love about you, I wanted you to have as a guest, because like you don't brag about how much money you're making.
Yeah.
You're not bragging about like
the people that you work with.
Yeah, you're not bragging about who you're working with. I just told you off camera, off record, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you work with this person? Like, I fucking follow their podcast. Like, what the fuck? And
you're the one creating their content.
That's what I'm trying to strive for, and that's why I'm being very careful what I say, because this is gonna be on record forever, and I don't want people to be like, yo, what the fuck this guy? Like, but you're really low key and you're really humble, and that's why we wanted to have you on this pod.
Appreciate
because I want you to project that like humbleness, and I want that creative member. Yeah, your shit might be good, but like, yo, like tone it down, bro. Like sometimes being humble can take you longer and stretch your career a little bit longer than, like we all, like I go to boxing. Mike Tyson. Yeah, Mike Tyson was like really like chauvinistic, talking shit because he wants to be an entertainer, this and that, but his career was really short.
Yep.
Yeah.
Until he got fucked up on Douglas. And I wanted you to be on, like me and Alberto talked about it, like yo, let's bring on Mar, because you're really humble. Shit, I'm not trying to talk shit, but like most people might not know about you because you're really humble, and you don't like project yourself as like, yo, check my shit out, like I'm making this much money, like fuck all that, like like you're not doing all this shit, extra shit that other people are doing who may not be financially where you're at.
Homie's too busy getting to the bag. Man,
you're too busy, bro. You're too busy, bro.
All right, Mar. So let's bounce to social media. We haven't talked about that yet. How active are you on social media? Because from what I see, you're active, but you're not active at the same time. And do you even care about social media? Is that part of your marketing strategy?
Yes, I do care about social media. I still get clients through social media. But
we met through social media.
We met through social media.
Through a hashtag too.
Yeah. Really?
Yes. I liked some of your photos or your videos. And then you saw some of my stuff. You liked some of my stuff. And then you followed me. And then I follow you. And then nothing was the same. Seriously.
So I'm not active because I'm hard on myself. And
what does that mean?
Meaning like, I haven't taken the time to gather all the content that I want to post, and I don't know what to say. And I
feel like we all go through that.
Yeah, it's just like a weird creator thing. Like now that you're at a certain level, you want to like have a person look at your feed going like, oh, this shit's dope. Like I'm going to follow it because now I'm at this feed, looking at their feed and it looks dope. So that's one aspect. And at the same time, there's like a inner Picasso in me that's like, I want to post something that no one's posting. You know what I mean?
That's
like
hard though.
That's exactly. So that's the time that's just like, I'm at home like, what can I post that no one's posting? So like if you go to my page, right, the reels are different.
Right.
Because no one's doing those types of reels. Like, well, maybe they are, but at least from my little circle,
you're not seeing it.
Correct. So I'm always trying to be innovative because I'm thinking like, oh, as innovative as I become, the more reach I could potentially get.
Right.
Because someone's like, oh, this is dope. This is new. But sometimes you're too early. You know what I mean? But so that's one aspect. At the same time, I definitely spend so much time on working on other people's stuff. I spend so much time on editing other people's work. Mm-hmm. Like that's just the majority of my time. And I take as much as I can for my clients. Like, are they going to like this? Do they like this shit? Is this like this edit is good? And then it's not just one person. Like I have like 5 to 6 people each month that I have to worry about. Like, okay, cool. Like,
how do you find that fucking time, my guy? Like,
systems, bro.
I mean, I have
systems,
not as high as that, but like, holy shit, man.
Systems, man.
I will tell you this, bro. Like, I've been in that Picasso mindset where like, I'm like, I got the picture, but I need that quote to make it perfect.
Yep.
And I've told Alberto this. I'm like, and I've told other creatives, I'm like, dude, I just fucking post. I don't give a fuck. Alberto seen me post 2 reels like within 24 hours. Like, yo, as the way I think about it is, the more work, the sooner I get it out in public, the more people can see, like, all right, he can do this, he can do that. Like, I want to hire him. And I've gotten jobs, and I've told Alberto, the next week I got a project where I got a job where I was like, it's been like less than 24 hours. It's been 14 hours. I'm going to post another picture. And because of that picture, they hit me up and they were like, yo, are you free next week? And I was like, perfect. Like, this is what I was going for. And at the end of the day, man, it just matters about the content. It really doesn't, as long as you're not really a cornball on your quote to like, we're like, damn, like this guy's a cornball. It all matters about the content you're putting out. Like people don't really see the quote, and I kind of like moved away more from the quote. Regardless, I do post a lot for the Potter, so I do take more time. This sounds really bad.
Curating it.
I take more time curating for the Potter than for my own content, because I kind of prioritize the content for this Potter, because I feel like people can beneficiate more than for me charging for my own account. Right. So for my own account, I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, the image speaks for itself. I'm a photographer. I'm not a videographer.
You're selling that. You're selling the image, not the fucking caption.
So like, I always tell like Shelby, I'm like, yo, who gives a fuck about my quote? Like, I'm selling the image. I'm not selling the quote. Like yeah, like if it was a video, like maybe I'll curate it more, but like it's just the image. Like, yo, take it or leave it.
The one thing I always like nag about you, like always have a call to action of some sort.
Correct.
Like, hey, visit my website. Hey, DM me or email me for fucking rates. Like,
and I did do that.
You want to invite that, and you've been doing that. And it's been looks like it's been working out for you.
No, it has.
And I was gonna say, like, so some of the clients that I work with, right? They've gotten that stuff to a science. They know how to speak online. They know how to speak on social media. I want to learn to master that. And for quotes or captions matter to me only because eventually, like, if they don't know you, or in the marketing world, you can hear this term called evergreen. You're going to hear this term.
Man, you are throwing so many gems when it comes to these corporate terms, bro.
What is that, bro?
Potter.
Evergreen?
Hell yeah.
That's a good one.
So evergreen.
There's like 4 more other gems that he dropped out there. Like, I gotta Google that shit.
So evergreen content. You're going to hear this term often. Evergreen content, right?
I'm familiar with that.
So you're going to get to a world where you're going to listen to people that are like copyright. You're going to hear the term copyright. Well, a good copywriter basically creates words that sell. So imagine you going onto a website, and as you're reading these words, they emotionally make you feel some sort of way that towards the end you're going to buy. That's like words that sell for you. So to me, when I'm making captions, like, I get so involved in going, as they're reading this, will they emotionally invest in me? So that's why I overanalyze it, and I haven't gotten good enough to that point where I know how to make good copyright or good words so that they buy at the end.
Yeah.
But that's I tend to speak to a certain individual. So if you read any of my content, you're always going to hear either a story about a creator struggling, which is myself, or a client that fucking needs someone like myself.
Right. Can I tell you one thing from experience where, I don't know what's it called, but that worked for me, called, like Roberto said, call of action, was when you did that video where it's like, okay, like you did that voiceover, and like you were, I don't know what it was, like it was like you were showing stuff and then you were doing a voiceover, like, all right, this is me doing this. I don't know why I did this, but I did that. And I was like, holy shit, like I can relate to that. And I would like hire you to like do my stuff because that like resonated with me a lot.
So it worked.
Yeah. So as a creative, I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, like even if I was a creative or a client, like I would fucking hire Mar, because this is like telling a story, and this is like resonating with me. And that's what I loved about you.
Thanks, man.
I don't know what it was, but
I think it's one of his IGTVs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause they're a little longer form. And you get in depth with like the creative process, which I'd rather see the creative process than the end result. Like your end result could be fucking ass, but I want to see how'd you create it.
How'd you create that?
You know
so I could pick up those nuggets.
Yeah. You know what I think it was for me? It was for me, like I always tell Alberto, like Alberto's best videos, I think, was when he did that rap video where he did like
Studio session.
And then it was his
the vlog one.
Yeah.
It was like fucking long, and it was
like 10
long as
minutes
fuck.
long.
But it
And I was
kept
like,
your attention.
yeah, I was like, wait, this was like 5 minutes long, bro. Like, this is your best work. Like, and I was telling him like off record, I was like, dude, this is like no cap, bro, no cap. Like, I'm not drunk, I'm not doing like this is your best work.
Even though he was drunk though.
And I was telling him, I was like, dude, like vulnerability for me as a
Transparency.
You
creator,
love transparency.
Yep.
that resonates with me, and I feel like for clients, and if you can do it in a professional manner, it resonates with them because
Totally.
like, I'm like, dude, like this is them being transparent. Like, I want to hire him.
Correct.
And I felt like when you did that video, it was like, holy shit, like that's dope.
Yep.
You know?
You created that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's I mean, that's a huge thing. Like in today's world, at least, like when you see advertising nowadays, you're like, you know, they're selling you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you get,
You're that annoying salesman. Like, fuck off.
yeah. So if you could find that middle ground of like, oh, he's being real about his shit right
He's
now.
being a
or
human being.
He's being a human being. Then for some reason, your brain's like, I kind of like this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so
Yeah. And fuck, it brings a good point. Like when the A7S3, the one you have back here, when they did, Alberto was telling me, he's like, yo, like I saw Alberto like posted like the videos. Like, yo, this is shot on the 7AS3, right? And I was like, what the fuck? Like this resonates with people. And we just reviewed Nikon. What did Nikon do with the 7.3 or 7?
The Z90.
oh, they barely like that.
Oh, sign up to our newsletter and
Yeah,
find
they-
out more. That
Yeah.
doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to know
Sales
shit
are
about
selling
it.
me.
Too
Yeah.
salesy.
Yeah, so I was like-
you already know. Oh, they want me on their email list.
Yes.
They're gonna sell
Yeah.
me in the future.
Yes.
Your brain, this world isn't. You're not ignorant to
Mhm.
the old ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the A7S3 promo video was like, fuck, looked like a fucking film.
Yeah.
And it was so deep, and I mean, shit, Curtis Morgan, man. If you guys don't follow Curtis Morgan at this point,
dude,
bro,
so sick,
he has
bro.
the best content on Instagram. I always fucking comment on his images. You have the best game. You have the best content in the game, bro. I sound like a fucking
Chill, bro.
fanboy. I swear to God.
You probably comment like, "Hi, babe."
He has the best content in the fucking game. Curtis Morgan, shouts to you, bro. If you listen to this shit or hear this by chance, shouts to you.
But-
give me a job at Sony.
But what I'm trying to get at is that, you know, this even goes back to like old days where like colleges have ruled the game of like, yo, go to college, learn all this bullshit nonsense, and give us your money and we'll give you a snippet. And now like the society has like turned the tables and be like, yo, fuck that. Why are you going to college? Like,
Shouts to the internet.
Shout out to Lewis Howe. He just posted like a diagram about how like going to college, like you learn like 40% of what
Correct.
you really need.
Not even that.
And I'm like,
getting
it's
networking
time.
that
It's
way.
time for like the people to overtake the system that's been curated for us, and we've been like manipulated to go to college. That's the only That's the only way you're gonna make
Get
it.
in debt for the rest of your life and then pay it until you're 80.
And now like the new generation is like yo, like what the fuck? Scratch that. Like let's start learning about taxes in high school. Let's start learning about things that we can actually implement. Like history is fine and dandy, right? Like we want to know where we're coming from.
Correct.
Because it's always important. But
Correct.
let's not emphasize it so much to where like it controls us and controls our narrative for the rest
Correct.
of our life. And that's really, really, really fucking important. That's what
Correct.
I'm trying to push in this podcast. Me and Alberto are trying to push that because the narrative that is being pushed out for the past couple of years, we grew up in like the traditional, like go to college,
Yeah. Yeah.
learn the history, motherfucker. If
Yep.
you don't learn the history, motherfucker, you're not gonna learn about taxes.
Correct.
Fuck the taxes. You don't gotta learn about that shit.
You
Ya no
Scratch
espera,
that.
güey. Cálmate.
don't start a business. Work
Scratch-
for other people.
Scratch the stocks, bro.
Yeah.
Scratch the trading stocks.
Yes.
This is how like old America is thinking, and I'm trying to break that. And me and Alberto are trying to break that mindset of like you can't
As
do
a
that.
creator.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's not meant for you, bro. Stocks, don't listen to stocks. Creativity, don't do that. Go do this. Do this mandate job where college is what's being reinforced. The university system, give them your money and stay with that like $30 an hour job. But don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't go out and be creative. And that's what me and him are trying to push.
And,
we're
like-
nah.
And I don't know about nowadays, at least when I went to public school, like they don't push arts and crafts like that.
No, they don't.
Like
remember, like arts and craft.
Well,
you're doing arts and craft.
That's an elective. That's an elective.
Loser.
It's not a
loser. Like
yeah.
you're doing arts and crafts.
You're the nerd.
Yeah, you're the nerd. Like you don't. We're just trying to push that forward.
No, I completely agree. There's like, it all comes down to perspectives, right? So one that my stepdad used to tell me all the time, like indoctrination, right? Yes, look,
Another gem.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right? Your school system, your college. At the end of the day, they're a business.
Yeah.
So they have to pay employees. Their employees are teachers. Their
Cream,
employees
baby.
are deans, right? So in order, and this goes into the medical fields and all this other stuff, right? So you're a byproduct of some of the things that they have to like take care of. So if they could convince you to come to their school and teach you how to work with the system being like a 9-to-5er, then you're eventually going to take as much studying. So that means you're
becoming an investor.
You're investing in these people, and that's okay. That's okay. But at the same time, don't lose the creative and the curiosity side. If you're in there, allow yourself to properly create like networking. Like that's what schools should be like. Come to our school because you're gonna find the best friends that you're gonna be with they're gonna be your best man at your wedding, you know.
Not just that, but like a lot of creators that I've listened to like previous podcasts, they say when the question is always asked, the infamous question, is film school worth it? They all say it's not worth it to learn shit, but it's worth it for the networking process.
Correct.
Our few episodes back with Teddy, when he went to school, he was in some kind of like film class. He met someone that connected him to Cole fucking Bennett.
Correct.
So that's just like the proof of the pudding right there.
So I mean, and then you have to think about it. Are you willing to spend $60,000 a year
to make friends?
To make friends,
know, man.
Or can you go into that? Can you go into that school and get as much education? Like, and don't get me wrong. Look, here's the thing about like I went to graphic design school and I spent a lot of money to go to graphic design, and I fucked around a lot. Like, meaning I didn't go to all my classes, because in college, okay, in high school, you have your parents to keep you accountable to go to school. You have your parents to say, go to this class, go to this thing, right? But then when you get to college level, your parents aren't going to remind you. Your teachers aren't going to remind you. It's like a job.
Yeah.
Like you gotta tell yourself to go, and you're gonna quickly find out that, like, if you don't invest in that shit, that you're gonna fall behind really fast. You're gonna have a D in that class after missing 2 assignments, and then you're gonna be outcast, and then you spent so much. So like, there is an issue with the fact that, like, yeah, I don't want people to go to school. Like, you can learn a lot of shit on the outside, but if you decide to go to school, and if you're not taking full advantage of the school's education, then that's also your bad too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yeah, and I completely agree with that, because where I went to school, I knew people who like were kids, like fucking 21 years old, and they were partners with their dad. This, for example, some kid, he was coal mining in China, and they were making like millions a year, and he was like, yeah, I'm just taking this marketing class because it's a requirement, but me and my dad make like a shit ton of money. And people would
you did go to school with a bunch of privileged ass
so
kids.
I'm like people in the parking lots, people who have GTRs, fucking high-end cars, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? How are they?
You're driving your fucking Accord.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm going to school with these privileged ass kids who are essentially just getting a degree because they want to work for their parents or for their family members. And no matter what, like, as long as they get the degree, they can get those jobs.
Correct.
But, you know, for the average Joe like me, like, I'm going to the school and I'm like looking at them. I'm like, well, if I can get a degree, I can become one of them. Mm-hmm. No, it's all about networking, man. It's all about who you know. And like, one thing a professor ever, like, probably one of the biggest gems I ever got from a professor is 70% of the jobs that you get out of college is from people you know.
Correct.
30% of the jobs you get is because you apply. So I'm like, what the fuck is this up? Like, yeah. This is just a fucking institution that's just trying to make a business Like, yo, you're
It's not making the business.
You're
They are
not
the business.
Yeah, you're not a student. You're just a fucking investor. And if you get lucky, you'll strike gold. If you don't, then you're fucked.
Yeah, you do your due diligence in school. Like, hey, are you willing to kiss ass and shake hands? Yes.
And full disclaimer, guys, we're not saying don't go to fucking school. We're not saying that. You make
More power to you.
You make your decision if you want to go to school or you don't want to go to school. I am a product of not going to school, going to fucking going to not even JC, a fucking community college, and I dropped out twice, and I'm doing fairly good for myself. So
I want to elaborate on that. Like to play devil's advocate, like as a brother would say, like my brother went to the same school I went to,
and he's killing
my footstep, and he's making triple figures, and he's doing good for himself. But it's all for who. It all depends. It's all about what you want to do for your longevity.
Yeah,
and
if you're gonna put in that work too. Yeah, I'm assuming it's not like your brother went there and just like jerked off.
My brother.
Your brother's a savage. He's a savage.
He studied. He did everything, and it worked out for him.
Exactly.
And that's all I gotta say, man.
Totally.
Before we take off, dude, how do your parents? Since let's say your mom, for example, she's got to be foreign with the art world. Like, how does she feel about your career path?
Okay, so
I always ask everyone.
Dude, she hate. I'm gonna get some real shit right now.
Let's go deep with it.
Run it.
Fuck it. We're 2 hours in. Fuck it.
So my mom like invested in me. Fuck. Dude, this is such a big story.
Make sure you word it nicely in plain English.
Okay. 16-year-old me gets kicked out of my house.
Damn.
Gets literally kicked out. I walk into my room, to my stepdad and mom, and my mom actually pulls me. Hey, your stepdad wants to talk to you. Go into that room. He's in his bed, and he goes, "It's time for you to pack up." And I'm like, "I don't understand. What you mean?"
Damn.
And he's like, "No, it's time for you to pack up. Like, you're not living here anymore." And I'm like, "Why?" Okay, mind you, me being a troubled, rebellious kid was me spending the night at my best friend's house, me smoking a little bit of weed. So that's their version of like, he's a terrible individual and he needs to dip. He needs to get booted. So understanding that, I get booted. I literally had to empty out my house, my belongings, and put them in my front yard. And I had this little mountain of all my shit. And because at first, maybe I could have like had a conversation with him. Maybe he didn't believe that I was going to do it. Maybe he was trying to scare me, whatever the case is. There's even a bigger backstory to that, but I'm not going to dip on that.
Let's get the Cliff Notes.
So this is the Cliff Notes. So I did that. I took all my shit. I was like, fuck y'all, like whatever.
Run it.
Fuck y'all now.
Best friend, call my best friend. Hey, this is what's happening to me right now. Can you help me? He's like, cool, bet, I got you. So he comes over, helps me out, picks all my stuff. I live with him and his aunt for a couple years.
Damn, couple years.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Oh, this is a real kick out. I thought they were bluffing.
No, in those 2 years, I lived at his house. I lived in Brea. I drank a lot. I smoked a lot. I painted a lot. I got to.
Wait, did you kick it in downtown Fullerton a lot?
Nah, man. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Downtown Fullerton, and then I also kicked
that was a party scene.
in Orange County, in Anaheim. But in those years, basically, I fucking like considered what I did life, right? But there was a time where I couldn't afford shit. There was a time where like I couldn't make rent. There was times where I was like I didn't know what I wanted to do. So basically, I had to beg my parents. I had to beg my mom, like, "Hey, I'm drugged out. I'm like, I've done a lot of drugs. I've lost a lot of weight. I can't eat food. I can't do this. Can I live back at home?" And I went through a thing called psychosis, where that means sick in the head. In layman's terms. So during the time where my mom was like, "You need to go to the hospital. I want to check you for any STDs or any something's wrong with you or anything like that. Can you go do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." I used to carry my Bible a lot because at that time I was like, I went through this like spiritual transformation. So in going to the hospital, the doctor was like, "Oh, we're gonna check your blood." So I was so afraid of needles and I was so afraid of doctors. I literally you gotta imagine this. I'm like an 18-year-old kid doing like putting my head in my shirt like this.
Yeah.
So the doctor's looking at me like,
The fuck?
what the fuck? Exactly. Well, that's a little weird. And then in my head, I'm like, I'm just nervous. I'm just scared. Like this is the only way I could comfort myself. And then in my head, my rationality in my head was like, fuck this. I don't want to be here. I put this down and I like exit the door. Immediately, the doctor was like, no, like something's wrong with him. Something's off with him. And there's this term that happened to me. It's called the 5150. So basically that's like endangering to himself. So they call it paramedics. And I was put into like a psycho asylum.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I was considered 5150. And during that time, like I couldn't go anywhere. I tried escaping. I couldn't. There was a lot of, I'm telling you, I've gone through the gamut.
Yeah.
So, fast forward, I beat all that. I learned how to get.
Oh yeah.
I learned that I had a thyroid issue. Basically means that there's a chemical in your brain that wasn't receiving throughout your whole body. So I have to take medications for it. It's a thyroid hormone in your neck, and because of 5150 and because of all that stuff, I was able to take care of myself. I left the house again. So they took me in for some time. I finally left the house. I got a job. I worked at Mervyn's. I worked at Macy's, worked at Loss Prevention, worked at all these other things. And I just figured out how to be like a life-sustaining regular human being. So all that to say is like that's the part of like a lot of shit that's cultivated who I am now, right? Mm-hmm. Like all those experiences has led me to who I am now. Like during those emotional, weird fucking times, I've learned to cultivate curiosity. I've learned to curate all these things. And there's other creators out there in the world that are experiencing similar, maybe family issues, maybe fucking crazy times. Maybe they don't know how to pay their bills. Maybe they're seeing their moms being a certain way. Their moms are sick or their dads are sick or whatever the case is. Just know that if you're a creator at heart and you want to do something, there is a way of getting out of it. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of mental work. It takes a lot of stamina. It takes a lot of mindset changing. You're going to hear mindset shit from both these guys. But, like what I've created, Vid Project, it's just a directory. It's a platform for mostly a lot of video creators. I eventually want to transition to camera creators, or I shouldn't say camera, photographers. So it's a platform that will find clients that will pay for your work. We'll find clients that'll help you out. We'll find creators that'll help clients out. That's the end result and the overall goal.
Right.
And it's not like you're going to pay $5. No, you're going to get paid anywhere from 1,000 and on up.
Oh, we're talking bands, guys. We're not talking bum ass hundreds here and shit.
Correct. I want to be the Nordstroms and the Uber of the
content creation.
Yeah, correct. Only because I've experienced hardship, and now where I'm at now is like, okay, I don't want other creators to experience hardship. I don't want other creators to go like, oh, how am I going to do this? Like the world is changing and you need help. And I want to be a voice of help out there.
No, we'll tell you this, man. It takes fucking cojones, balls, bolas to like tell your story, bro. Because not a lot of people like, you know, I'm getting a little emotional because it's the hardship that your struggle and, what you've been through and like what you just explained to the fucking creative gang. Not everybody wants to open up like that. And knowing that that's your brand, like, you know, you're really open like a book and you can still make a good living out of that. Like that just explains your fucking brand. Like you're truthful, you're loyal, and you're not just out there to fucking for the money, you know? Like you're out there to sell an experience, and I feel like Alberto can elaborate on that. Like, fucking, that's honorable.
Yeah,
and I'm fucking honored that you're on here, bro.
Thank you.
Because I feel like a lot of like being a creative man, like you just don't have it, you know, pictured like a green or like, you know, RGB. Like, you know what I mean? Like the regular colors. It's there's a lot of shit that's going on,
big time,
and that's what happens. and you're a perfect example of that. And I'm honored that you're on here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, dude. Holy shit, that was fucking deep, man. I did not expect that. Yeah, we really appreciate you fucking telling your story, like the shit that you had to go through, man, and the fact that you're doing pretty good for yourself. That's an understatement. It's
You're humble as fuck, bro.
Yeah, man. The fact, it's I don't know what else to say, man. Holy shit.
Lost for words, bro.
Yeah, I'm lost for words for sure.
I
I didn't know this about you.
Yeah.
Well, it's that's the thing. Like my girlfriend told me before this is like, are you gonna tell your story? Like, there's fucking huge stories. Like I'm telling you, it's a big story. Like mom's been through some shit, and that Hispanics, like creator gang. If you're a white person and you've probably struggled through some family shit also, I get you. But Hispanics and blacks and minorities, period. We it's just a different outlook sometimes. But the fact that I'm hanging out with other Hispanics, it's just a different chemistry right now that you guys could relate. Because like there's people that have told you like no one's doing this as in the Hispanic world, and
he literally had a fucking conversation with a member of the gang,
man. So gangster, bro. Like I'm jealous at the fact that I wish I would have done this earlier. But you guys are like the coolest fucking individuals that I've ever met. Like,
appreciate that.
Yo,
you
this
too,
is
bro.
so
You
sick.
too. No, it's just a reminder, like, yeah, we do shits and giggles here, like yo, we're doing for these motherfuckers, like, but when a motherfucker hits you up and he's like, yo, I'm Latino too, like, shit, I'm getting a little emotional right now. Shit, bro, take over, bro.
For real though.
Oh yeah.
No, dude. Like, bro, just take over, bro. Shit.
Oh no, dude, it's not that. He was telling me that like members like could relate to the conversation that we were having, because like, oh fuck, I'm Latino. Like no one that creates is like that I know is like Latino and shit like that. And so I thought that was freaking dope, man. Like that they could relate with us, man. I mean, we made this for any creator out there. It's not for like, this isn't like a racing or anything like that. Like I know we kind of went a little off topic, and we went a little deeper than normal. Yes. But I mean, I feel like it was necessary. I mean, like I said, we don't do pre-production. We don't do fucking questionnaires. He's like, yo, so what are we talking about? I'm like, bro, we're gonna have a conversation. That's it. No pre-production at all. Like we're just gonna go with the flow.
Yeah, like this is hard for me because I'm getting really emotional because like it just impacts you, man. Like what the fuck? Like put your heart to whatever the fuck you're doing, and somebody will out there like a stranger will fucking relate to you. And hearing Mar's story and then hearing Samuel's story, like saying that he looks up to me and Alberto, like yo, like I came from DC and then I came to this new spot, San Diego, and like DC, I was the best in my craft, and then I came to San Diego and I was like,
didn't know anybody.
I was like, I suck at this shit. And then I heard you guys' podcast and I was like, holy shit, they're Latino too and they speak Spanish and this and that. Like I just told Alberto, I'm like, dude, like this is a void this is the prophecy we set out for.
Yeah.
And it was a little hard for me because like I always tell Alberto, I'm like, dude, like we're wasting so much time. We're not getting paid for this shit. We're not getting no sponsors. We're just doing this because we always like our main goal was to fill that void that was Alberto, Peter Young 5 years ago, who just picked up a camera and were like had a vision and had just fucking looked up to like huge YouTubers, bro. And to see like to have Mar here, man, and tell our story and tell his story and like just fucking hearing his story, man, it just gets super emotional how our prophecy is becoming a reality. And I hope you guys are taking some gems, because Mars, fuck, he's just throwing gems left and right, bro. You've definitely raised some emotion in me, man, and I'm happy you're here, bro.
Hell yeah,
Thanks,
dude.
man.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
But to wrap it up, bro.
Yeah, it's we
get on a good note, bro. Good note. Frame of the week. Frame of the week. This is my favorite part because I'm always like, what? There was a shroom head? Like
the shroom head.
I know, dude. Damn.
Okay, well, I'll tell you different day. Hopefully I can come back one day. I done shrooms a couple of times.
I'm curious about shrooms.
8 times, bro.
I'm curious about it.
I stopped my last one. That was a terrible experience.
So, frame of the week. This you'll see in front of Mars' face right here. It's at Jess steel photo. Link will be in the description, and if you're on YouTube, description as well. But she did a little photo collage, and it's
There
like a
you
little
go.
swipe. I don't know if you can see
like
it.
it.
Little
I like
portrait
that.
sesh.
I like it, dude. It's a little blown out, but it's effects, you know.
Yeah,
Sit,
no,
sit.
I really like this image right here. Yeah. What do you think about it, Mar? It's a swipe.
some
So
drama.
in YouTube, you'll see like the one image, I believe, and yeah,
Right
if you're on Apple Podcasts, by the way, if you're on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating, and if you're on Spotify,
Well, you have to think she went to the desert. It looks like
yeah,
and captured this. The colors are moody, very
foreground.
earthy,
yes, I like the
Yeah,
earthy
earthy.
looks.
and she gave it her all. She wasn't like you can't like her emotions aren't like fake about it. Like
Yeah,
she's
it's
really
really-
pouring her all.
Yeah,
It's
So
really
this
out
is
there.
dope.
yeah,
This is dope. What's her name? Jessie or
Yeah.
Jess.
yeah. So
Super.
definitely give her a follow. She's killing in the photography game. She is from OC LA area, so
Hey.
Orange County, Los Angeles area. So definitely follow her, and thanks for supporting the podcast.
Thank you.
And by the way, if you're on Spotify, hit that share button, put it on your story, tag us. Takes 2 seconds, and it's free. And if you're on YouTube, hit that
Subscribe,
hit
stop
that
lurking.
subscribe. Stop fucking lurking. You enjoy
go,
this content.
man. Let's
Hit
get
the
to
fucking
100,
subscribe.
man.
We're just
Come
get to
on.
100.
Can I get that last plug in though?
Yeah.
Oh no, of course though. So,
The Vid Project.
bro, you're
Oh, sorry. The Vid Project. I'll do that.
you're like blasting our listeners' ears at this point.
Where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, where can people find you?
So my personal Instagram is worth_MAR. So WRTH_MAR.
You'll see it all link in the description, by the way.
Appreciate you. And then at the Vid Project. So VID.
Anything
Project.
anything you want to promote about the Vid Project? Are you guys looking for any creators
Oh.
in the SoCal area or nationwide? What is it that you're looking for?
Nationwide creators focused on reels, focused on video work. So yeah, any video creators, pretty much anything that to do with video making. That's what I'm focused on. The Vid Project.
And
So-
your one question, your niche. What is that for a creator?
Oh
who's,
yes, that's a good question. We never really discussed the kind of
yeah,
niche
we
work
didn't.
that the Vid
Shit.
Project does.
So
You've been throwing so many gems, I forgot, bro. What's your niche?
Good question.
Uh,
Good Pete.
industry experts. So I'm just gonna name a whole bunch so that
Go
way
for
you
it.
can- so let's say you own a dojo, you're a karate business owner, and you're promoting your small business. Maybe you're a sensei. Maybe you're you have a coffee shop. Maybe you have an online product. Maybe you make baby clothes. Maybe you basically
Or
any
online personal brand.
online personal brand. So if you're
That's
already
really big right now.
correct. So anything that is promoting something online, but you've gotten a good amount of traffic, then you probably need a creator. We want to help creators meet those industry experts.
Right. So guys, if you are a videographer anywhere in the fucking US, definitely hit the Vid Project. Link will be in the description. And like I said before, we're not talking about fucking bum ass $200.
I need your testimonial one day.
Of course. No, you hit me up, bro. We're talking about bands right here, guys. All right. So you're going to get paid right here. So, I mean, this is all assuming your work is
Quality.
fucking fire, though.
Yeah.
So he ain't working with people that,
Want to give up after a week or whatever.
yeah, no, definitely not. So definitely hit the Vid Project. Before we take off, Mar, you've been a hell of a guest. Describe your perfect day if money isn't a thing. What time are you waking up?
6 or 7 a.m. Probably
What are you sipping on? You a tea or coffee guy?
coffee guy, huge coffee guy. I mean, my perfect day though. You want me? If I can make love around that time,
Yo, fuck it.
I'm not gonna front. I've told my girl this, but she could just come over on top. She touching me with the leg and come over on top. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
okay.
front it's out of nowhere, Okay,
Yeah.
then after that, shower, right? And then I'm gonna go
Okay.
get my coffee. I'll make my coffee. Well, or
What
take-
kind of coffee? What's the coffee?
So I brew my coffee. So there's several coffee brands that I like, but any
Straight coffee, latte,
roastery, straight coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, or unless I have the silk, the silk almond vanilla.
You going black or are you going with some cream in there?
black
bitch?
for sure. Oh, but that's the cream, the
Gotcha,
vanilla
gotcha.
almond. I do a pour over version. After I have that, then I typically sit on the couch and I chill or meditate. But perfect
meditate.
day.
I wish we should have gotten that, but go ahead.
Perfect day. Me and my girl would probably drive to the beach, hit a hike,
Okay.
and then get some breakfast. That's
Okay.
like the perfect morning start. After that, it's like me and her would probably brainstorm and create something, or we have the luxury, but like we're flying somewhere. Busting Alberta, you know what I'm saying? Busting like I'm gonna go travel to like Puerto Rico or some shit. Like
That's the next spot, by the way.
and but that'd be good. Like ending up.
Do you have a camera in hand throughout the day? You're a
what's
big
your setup?
document.
definitely
You're a big
the vlog.
documenter.
Yeah, big
What
time.
camera and what glass?
A7S3, 16 to 35, or just
Which is this one?
Yes,
Shit.
either that one
That's
or
635.
We're using your glass?
or the 1635 with the 2.8.
Ooh,
I think it's
the
the 2.8.
G-Master,
The
yes.
G-Master.
G-Master?
Yes. Yeah. It's
And, then,
gangster.
and
bro.
are you vlogging? Are you taking photos? Or are you just doing B-roll, epics, or
Both. So I'd probably take photos. I probably have the app so I could like shoot them to my phone.
yeah?
Or I could just be gangster and like have some like VA, which means virtual assistants. We'll talk about that a different day. So you'll send it to somebody, or you can send it to your Dropbox or send it to your phone, and then you just be posting on the fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then end with another lovemaking session. Like, I'm not gonna
Damn.
Round 2, baby.
I feel it. I feel it.
Wow.
And that's where the night ends.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Nice,
probably.
nice,
Hit
nice.
you guys up, be like, yo, I just saw your Potter, bro. Like that shit was hilarious.
Of course, you got to listen to the podcast. You guys on a Thursday.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, that was fucking funny, man. Pete, where can people find you, bro?
People can find me at petercollinframes.com. Peter Collin Frames on Instagram. Check me out.
Yes, definitely hit
can
him
find
up. People can find me on Instagram at @a_Mendoza_and One last shameless plug. Where can people find you?
Worth_MAR or at the Vid Project.
And website?
thevidproject.com or creatingproject.com.
Pete, I'll let you wrap this up, baby.
So, shit, we almost forgot this. I have to say it. Mar, what's that creative member out there looking straight at the camera, looking at you, 12 o'clock vision? What's your last message for them?
Your last tip.
What is your last tip? If you can go back in time, you would give yourself a tip. What is that tip?
Back in your rookie days that you didn't know about, that you wish someone told you about.
Okay.
What is that one piece of advice?
One piece of advice. I mean, there's a lot, but
Let's
the
get
one is fuck. Hold
It's
on.
got to be a banger, bro. It's going on Instagram.
Time, bro.
I told you I think about
No,
I think
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Find your this is a negative way of saying it, but it's like learn to attract your whale. Like that's a huge one. Cultivate curiosity and attract your whale. Whale means there's going to be a client out there that is going to be paying you maybe it's $500 for you, maybe it's $1,000 for you. But once you find that whale, be the most customer service oriented person possible. Do you need water? Do you need massage? Whatever it is, like, what can I do? Email them nightly, email them weekly, ask them questions, whatever the case. Be as customer service oriented as possible, because that person's gonna be like, yo, this kid is so customer service oriented. I'm gonna point you to my friend, and then that's that referral effect. That's like they're gonna tell you this person's good, that experience is good. So that's it.
That's how the ball rolls, man. So yeah, definitely find your budget.
Let's fucking go. What are we at? 2 hours. Fuck. I'm
So sorry.
so many firsts. So many firsts in this episode, man. I almost fucking cried. I choked up. I had to give it to Alberto. Alberto was like, "What the fuck you doing, Pete? You choking? You drunk?" Nah, I'm about to cry, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, what is this? Episode 36?
36, I believe. Yeah,
Thank
man.
you so much.
This
guys.
is gonna do it for episode number 36 of In the Frame podcast with our guest Mario. Where can they find you?
Bro, come on.
I don't want to butcher this. That's why I said word, bro. I'm not drunk.
I'm not joking.
Super emotional episode, man. Go ahead and give him some love. What emoji do you want us to drop?
Yeah,
I almost
they're
forgot
gonna
that.
go to your latest image, and they're gonna flame me up with an emoji.
Hang loose, bro.
Hang
Hey,
loose. Give him the
let's
shaka.
go,
Give him the shaka.
man.
Not the shocker, but the shaka.
This is going to do it for episode number 36 of In the Frame podcast. I'm your host, Peter Collins, joined by your co-host, Alberto Mendoza, joined by Mario. Let's go. We'll see you in 37. Peace.
Cheat.